Today, Nintendo is bringing viruses to your smartphone, and everyone's excited. This is CheckPoint. Good evening and welcome to CheckPoint. I'm Brendan Beach-Deary. Exactly, but I wouldn't put it past them. Well, not with that kind of management. Ubisoft gave us a rare treat last week when they sent out an email about their apolitical coup d'etat simulator, The Division 2, inviting players to a private beta to, quote, come see what a real government shutdown looks like, end quote. And naturally, everyone climbed on board this gaffe train. Multiple gaming news sites chimed in, indeed we're doing it ourselves, because Ubisoft's constant protestations that the Division series does not have any politics always rang hollow, and now here was tone-deaf proof otherwise. Hundreds of thousands of people are suffering in different ways as a result of the government shutdown in the United States, and Ubisoft just clumsily clambered onto that to help drive sales of a game which they say has no relation to politics. So, fine, there's lots to say about that, and other people can say it better than me. But what caught my eye was the apology. Ubisoft sent out an email a few hours after their ad, apologizing for what they did, saying they, quote, did not intend to make light of the situation, end quote, and attributed it to, quote, a grave breakdown in process, end quote. Now, I didn't take political science in university, so I'm not equipped to comment on the politics, but my degree is in process analysis, so briefly, let's analyze this process. 1. Create a game that takes place in the nation's capital, filled with ruined and decaying symbols of the USA. 2. Deny that the game's setting and imagery has any political nuance. 3. Communicate this position clearly to your employees so they don't try their hand at ham-fisted satire while advertising your game. Whoops, I see where you fucked up. In a delightful and terrifying move, Dr. Mario World is coming to iOS and Android, courtesy of, and here's the actually surprising part, a partnership with Line, the makers of that sticker trading app I keep seeing in all my animes. Nintendo also has a business alliance with mobile developers DNA, and while it may be tempting to think that things are not all mushrooms and super crowns with that partnership, DNA is currently responsible for Super Mario Run, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, Fire Emblem Heroes, and the forthcoming Mario Kart Tour, so they've got enough moneymakers to keep them busy as it is. But enough of the delight. What terrifies me is that Dr. Mario is a game that my mother used to routinely kick my ass at on the NES. In solo play, she would start at level 20 because she couldn't handle how slow the game was otherwise. When I got her Brain Age 2 for her DS, she spent all of her time in Virus Buster, the stylus drag revamp of Dr. Mario, and now that it's coming to mobile, with in-app purchases, I am very afraid that I'm going to be watching my inheritance bleed dry through the medium of weekly leaderboard updates. At long last, the world's most perfect movie finally has what no one asked for, a sequel starring the son of the protagonist. Sony Pictures Virtual Reality, a financial concern that is either a movie studio or a game publisher or maybe both, it doesn't matter, has given everyone a peek at Groundhog Day, like father, like son. A VR game where you play as Phil Connors Jr., Bill Murray's son, who is trapped in his own repetitive Groundhog Day hell, trying to break the loop and get free. I love this movie, so why am I not as excited as everyone else seems to be? Well, it's because Groundhog Day has always been a video game, hasn't it? The whole idea was that Phil dies over and over like Mario until he finishes the game.
Phil doesn't die over and over again for the whole movie. That's just one part. He wakes up the next morning to do it over again.
Right. Shit. At long last, the world's most perfect movie finally has what no one asked for, a sequel starring the son of the protagonist. Groundhog Day, like father, like son, is a VR game from developer Tequila Works, where you play as Phil Connors Jr., who was trapped in his own Groundhog Day, trying to break the loop and get free. I love this movie, so why am I not as excited as everyone else? Well, it's because Groundhog Day has always been a video game, hasn't it? The whole idea was that Phil has to restart the level over and over until he completes it. Just like Mario. Mario. Hang on, wait. At long last, the world's most perfect movie finally has what no one asked for, a sequel starring the son of the protagonist. Groundhog Day, like father, like son, is a VR game where you play as Phil Connors Jr., who is trapped in a time loop trying to break free. I love this movie, so why am I not as excited as everyone else is? Well, it's because Groundhog Day has always been a video game, hasn't it? The whole idea was that Phil has to restart the level over and over until he completes it. Furthermore, Sony Pictures Virtual Reality has stated that the game will have, quote, branching narratives and interactive storytelling, enabling players to choose myriad ways to get to the end, unquote. That doesn't seem to be in the spirit of the movie, where there was only one way for Phil to break his loop. Plus, Phil could do anything he wanted and was hemmed in only by what the scriptwriter and director were willing to put to film. You put all of that possibility in a VR game, and it's inevitably going to come up short. Regardless, I'm keen to see it come out, if only because I'm always happy to see Stephen Tobolowsky get more work. They are casting his voice for Ned, right? Oh, thank God. I've done that story at least 500,000 times. I can't believe it took me that many tries to read it properly. Wait, why the hell didn't I use that time to teach myself to play the Overwatch piano? Or an actual piano? Or Overwatch? Coming up, Nintendo proves that they aren't cowards by putting Piranha Plant in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Looks like Kirby has some competition for the Sentient Mouth with Cute Little Feet prize. Fucking yes!
Nice!
I don't have to do it 500,000 more times.